The New Species product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecian is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecian formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecian raw plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecian works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecian.
Order now at NuSpecian.com.
Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
NuSpecian's mission is to help our clients live better and longer. We invent and manufacture our own line of high-potency herbal formulas, and these formulas support your body to be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey, and a good health choice means something different for each of us. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers to the questions that will help you continue on your own unique journey. So thank you for being here today with us. We have a few announcements. Hopefully you didn't miss us too much last week when we did our pre-record, because it was an amazing interview with Aston and Dr. Glanisha Nosworthy. If you haven't seen that episode, I highly recommend that you watch it. If not for the very, very interesting and empowering perspectives on prostate health and prostate cancer, but to get to know Dr. Nosworthy, because as of...
And how she thinks.
Right? Because as of, 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, NuSpecian Medical is officially a practice and a real thing. We can officially start booking virtual appointments today. Right now. Yeah. So before, when we were letting you know about booking virtual appointments, Dr. Nosworthy was reaching out to just talk to you and see if it was a good fit and let you know the details, but you couldn't actually book the appointment. But as of today, we can. So if you were someone who was previously interested in booking an appointment and you haven't taken action yet, or maybe you did already speak to Dr. Nosworthy and you're waiting for that call back, well, you will get it today. And we hope to have you getting your first virtual appointment next week.
And this is a really big deal, people. It's a really big deal. Jill and I have talked about the medical practice for over a decade, and it takes up to now to get it all together, thanks to our team, especially Mary, who dig into everything and get us all the information we need to be able to make intelligent decisions to set up this PCP practice. Is what it is for you. And a lot of you have a lot of issues with your doctors and you feel like you're not getting help. That's why we're doing it. So those of you who have talked to me, have consulted with me over the past months or years, you know your travails with your doctors, whether it's your PCP or your specialist. And that's why we have a doctor now who will talk to you, who will sit and talk to you. So we're in the process of designing for the renovation of Almond. We hope we can start this month, waiting on the designers to finish up. So it's telemed now, or telehealth now, until we get Almond up and running. And then it will be in person in that location. And that will be our first location. And we plan to have more locations to support our clients around the world.
Absolutely. All right. Mary put some links into the chat. I'm not sure if they're going to show up as clickable links, so you might need to copy and paste into a browser, but you'll be able to see Dr. Nosworthy's interview from last week's episode, get to know her. You'll also be able to fill out the form to receive a phone call to book the appointment if you want to make one.
So the episode last week was about, those of you who haven't seen it, it's about the prostate. She spoke extensively about the prostate, and we tried to identify all the major issues facing men with prostate disease and prostate cancer, and what they need to do to get help. And a lot of the information, guys have been telling me that they have not been able to get that from their doctors. So tune in. And ladies, you have men in your lives, so share it with them. You ladies should watch it as well to know what the men are going through, because you may just think they're going to the doctor and they're getting this medication or that medication or this guidance or monitoring. But now if you watch this video, you will know the 2 or 3 things that you should always be looking out for. Same thing for the guys. When you talk with your PCP about your prostate, or you speak with your urologist about your prostate, you know those 2 or 3 things that are critical for you to live longer and live better, especially to avoid radiation, to avoid surgery, to avoid chemotherapy. So that's how important that episode is. So please, you all watch it and share it with everyone in your life.
All right. Lastly, if you are on our email list or on our app, then you have seen our call to action to have you as a guest on our show. We would love to start having conversations live with you, because you're out there, you're dealing with the medical system, you're using NuSpecian formulas, and your case study essentially can help others learn and make empowered decisions. So we would love to have you on the show with us. And it doesn't mean you have to be here. You can join right from the comfort of your own home. Our media director, Sean, can pre-produce you. He can make sure your background looks good, that you know how to do everything. He'll help make sure you look great, because we want to present you like the true health hero that you are, because you're working hard to protect your health and you're doing it in a unique way. As awesome as you may think NuSpecian is and how popular you might think we are, we're still a little speck on the map, and we want more and more people to know about us and
So
what
we
you're
can help
doing.
more people.
Yeah, the journey that you're on is truly unique for a lot of humans. Many people are just out there suffering. They're on their own. They don't really know that plants can help them heal, and we want them to know. So we'd love for you to be on our show. If you are interested, Mary's putting in a link in the chat so that you can fill out the form, and it'll ask you just a few questions so we can get to know you and then set it up.
And I know you're all interested. I know it. So let me make it easy for you. When you do it with us, do the interview with us, with Jill and myself, you do not have to talk about your personal health issues. You do not have to divulge any of your privacy, confidential issues. You don't. We don't expect you to. All we want you to say is, if you do, you like NuSpecian, you like what we're doing for the community, you like what we're doing for the world, you like what we're doing for people in general, and you endorse it, and NuSpecian works for you, if it does, in any way, even the smallest way, if it works for you, that's all you have to say. And I would implore you not to divulge your personal information that you might find embarrassing to you, embarrassing for your family, that could, affect you at work or with friends or coworkers, right? So just come on and just talk about, in general, about what we do, and let us know if you like it. And if we get 1 million of you saying the same thing, all the better.
All right.
So it's as easy as that. Yeah.
So that's it for our announcements for this morning. We'd love to get started with a Q&A. We do have several pre-submitted questions, and I don't see any live questions right now. So if you are a guest on the show and you came here to ask a question, please go ahead and put it in the chat. And if not, you're just here to learn, then we're ready to give you some information. So I'm going to start off with our first pre-submitted question, and then you chime in anytime. All right. So this question, maybe it's Fred. I think there's a typo. What do you have for elevated liver? I don't drink.
So anyone can have elevated liver enzymes. It means that the AST, the LT, the alkaline phosphatase, or even the bilirubins, they're off, whether they're high or they're low. It means there are abnormalities in the liver. So we have three things that you probably should use to overall help your body to clean your liver. Our livers can clean itself, but it needs help. We don't eat the right foods, or we take medication, or we get exposed to chemicals or viruses, bacteria, parasites, microbes, all those things that cause us to get sick. So if your liver enzymes are elevated, it's because there's some inflammation and abnormalities taking place in the liver and probably the body elsewhere. All that inflammation could have moved from elsewhere to the liver, just so you know. So we have three formulas: the detox, the milk thistle, and the LNU1. You go on those. You can get the basic ones. You don't have to get the bigger bottles. You can get the basic, and you go on those three things and stay on them and redo your labs 2 to 3 months. Now, this is where a lot of you have a lot of issues with NuSpecian. You're being told to do your labs every 2 to 3 months, and you know that there's no doctor on planet Earth who's going to make that case for you to do your labs within 2 to 3 months unless you're dying. And we know that. And that's why we have our own PCP practice now. We just announced, so that you can speak to our doctor and you can get the lab done. You have to speak with our doctor. You have to get interviewed by our doctor, so our doctors can help to justify it for you. Now, this is the catch. The catch is, when you check your liver or whatever issue you have, A1C, blood pressure, every 2 to 3 months, you can save money, because if the issues you have gotten better or they're completely gone, we have no justification to keep you on what you're taking from us. So you could save a ton of money. So let's say the liver enzymes, let's say that package costs $200 or $300, right? You do it for 2 to 3 months, you do your labs, your liver enzymes are normal. Guess what? If you had waited the 6 months or 1 year and stay on NuSpecian for 6 months or 1 year, that's what you would spend. But if your liver enzymes are normal within the 2 to 3 months, guess what? You're done. Very likely your body is starting to heal itself or fix itself, and then you can just go on something maintenance, maybe just a detox powder or the detox capsule, which is $40. So it could be a difference between spending $300 and $40. And you save all that money that you would spend for 6 months or a year to wait for your primary care to do your labs. And now you have all that money. You can take a nice vacation to Cancun or to someplace, your favorite place in the world. That's a lot of money. Actually, it's a lot of money you would save. That's another reason why we have our own PCP.
Right. That's an excellent point, because we like to be sure we're using fact-based evidence when we're working with you. And even though when your body takes in the nutrition from the raw plants that are in our formulas, we really can't account for all the things your body's actually doing with that nutrition. What we can say is that we do want to know for sure what the results look like on your labs. And that helps Aston and Dr. Nosworthy to continue to make informed decisions, but be hyper accurate with what they're recommending for you, and then also help you save money when you can, but also really justify when you need to dig in and be more committed to the process. And it just helps everyone all around feel like it's a transparent process.
Right, because I am never going to take you off those formulas until I know that your liver enzymes are normal, or the issues you have, your A1C is normal. I'm never going to take you off, whether it's 6 months or 1 year or 10 years. I'm not going to suggest that you come off them, but if you do the regular checkups with your doctor, so you can do it with your own doctor, if you can persuade your doctor to, for you to do the labs. So that's how you save a lot of money, because we are never going to take you off what we recommend until we know that you're doing better. And yes, a lot of you would say to me, but Aston, I'm feeling so good. I have so much energy. That's great, but I don't care. I actually truly don't care, because you asked me to help to take care of you so you can be healthier and you can live better and live longer. As Jill just said, we need facts. We need to know affirmatively, positively that you're better before we change what you're taking. So getting the labs every 2 to 3 months, absolutely critical.
So June had said that's a good question. I had elevated liver enzymes last year, and I think it's funny she has to say last year because it means we don't get to go back to our PCP for a whole year. So I said, "Have you been back yet?" And she said yes, and it's fine now.
Okay, good.
So, whew,
Good.
that's great. All right, next question is from Oliver Adams. What is a faster way to lower PSA numbers when a biopsy shows no cancer?
So that's a good question. And this probably goes for most, if not all men on the earth. So that's a wonderful question. So if you had done a MRI on your PSA, it means that your PSA likely is over 4. If you did a biopsy and your PSA, it's likely your PSA is over 4 because 0 to 4 between 0 to 4, doctors normally think, the prostate is fine. But once it gets at 4 or over, they assume that there could be cancer in the prostate. And very likely for a lot of men, there's cancer in the prostate with the PSA over 4. So yes, it's great that they did the biopsy and possibly an MRI and your prostate does not have cancer cells. That's really great news for you. But now you have this affirmative obligation to yourself to make sure your prostate doesn't go to the next step of getting prostate cancer cells. You have to make sure that doesn't happen. There's nothing your doctors can do to help you with that. Nothing. There's no medication that can prevent, the pharmaceutical medication that can prevent your prostate from turning to cancer now. None. So you have to start rebuilding your body, purifying your body. And what you can do from our standpoint, you can get our detox or anti-inflammatory. We have the regular one and we have the stronger one since your PSA is over 4. If it is, you didn't say it is, but I'm assuming that it is because you did the MRI or the biopsy. You most likely need the upgraded anti-inflammatory with the MSM and possibly the LNU1. And you stay in those consistently. And here we go again. Now, if your PSA is over 4, you have a very strong case to make that your PCP should at least do your PSA every 3 months, because now you're in a very dangerous situation where you need to regularly monitor your prostate to see if something changes, because you never wanted to change to cancer. But now that you're going to make all these changes to your life, that you're working with NuSpecian, you also want to be sure that your PSA is going backwards, is going down. And that's the only way you're going to know that you're safe. If it's not going down, you're not safe. If it's going up, your danger of prostate cancer is increasing. So people, all of you know I'm going to talk to you. People have come to me and they have been diagnosed with cancer. For a lot of these people, it is more devastating than losing a child. So you parents, you know what it is like if you haven't lost a child, what it can be like to lose a child, because what your doctor has just given you, you think when you get a cancer diagnosis, it's a death sentence. And you all know that this is true. You may never admit to it that you think it's a death sentence, but that's what 99% of every person ever comes to me who have been diagnosed with cancer. So never allow your body to cross that line, especially when you have evidence now with your PSA over 4. The doctor did a biopsy. The doctor is only looking for cancer. Only. The doctor is not looking for virus, bacteria, or chemicals or inflammation. No. A biopsy is looking for cancer. So take those formulas and stay in them and redo your labs every 3 months. And just for your prostate, just for your PSA, to ensure that what you're getting from us is helping your PSA to go down. And then you should cut out meat products and dairy products. Cut out all meat products, cut out all dairy products. And that goes for you women who have these hormone issues as well, because a lot of the meat and dairy have steroids and growth hormones. And prostate cancer is a hormonal issue. Ladies, if you have menstrual issues, anemia, fibroids, endometriosis, dense breast. These are all hormonal issues. So if you're intaking these chemical hormones, you're likely to make your situation worse. All right.
All right.
I hope that was helpful.
All right. And just to back up, June had made a funny comment earlier where I was talking about how Sean can
We need to get June on the show.
That's what I'm saying. It was just
June.
she replied. She goes, "I don't think he can make me look great." So I just laughed about that. But actually, I will say that if we can have a good enough conversation, we'll send Sean to you with some lighting, and we'll get you someone to do your makeup and hair so that you can feel confident, because we just want you to be on the show and have a great conversation with us. So if you are worried about that and that's the only thing holding you back, we will take care of that and we will make you look great.
There you go.
All right.
NuSpecian will make you look pretty.
Yes.
Okay.
Or great. Not everyone wants to look pretty.
I think women do.
Yeah. Let's just say. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my feminist.
My mother did. My mother. There's nothing
pretty.
There's nothing my mother loved like a cute hat for church and cute shoes. Nothing she loved more than cute shoes and cute hats. If you bought her a hat and it's not cute, it's not pretty, she look at it like this and say, "Okay, thank you." But you know what she's thinking. Take it back and get me something cute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I have to say that's a good inspiration. I feel like people could wear hats again. That would be I think that would be like a cool thing for fashion. I'd like that to come back. All right. So Michael's question is looking for something for enlarged prostate. So I think you might have already covered that with
Same
the
thing.
previous. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Enlarged prostate means there's an infection in the prostate. So the prostate is swelling, just like you have inflammation in your arm or your leg or any part of your body, and it's swollen. It's like a lump, a bump, right? So that's what an enlarged prostate is. The prostate is sick. And most enlarged prostates are what lead to prostate cancer eventually, because eventually the infection in the prostate, whether it's chemicals or virus or bacteria or parasites or microbes, they bore deeper into the cell, and at the center of the cell is where you have the DNA, and the DNA is what make the genes that are wrapped around the DNA. And once those DNA strands and the genes are compromised by these creatures or chemicals, it disrupts the flow of the DNA, it disrupts the flow of the genes, and then those cells, sick cells with the damaged genes and damaged DNA, they start to multiply. And that's what cancer is when these cells start to multiply abnormally because they're sick, they're abnormal cells. That's what cancer is. So the enlarged prostate, those cells will keep multiplying until it becomes cancer, meaning that the number of those abnormal cells or sick cells have gotten to a level where it is now detectable by a biopsy, like we just said, or MRI or a CT. That's all that cancer is. It's just sick cells multiplying rapidly. That's what all diseases are. And that's why in different genes, they categorize them as cancer or different type of diseases, autoimmune disease. And now you know why they give all these diseases names. They only give them names to make medication. But you didn't know that. Every disease only has a name so they can create a medication for it, because they're all almost the same. Some are just worse than others because of the chronic nature of that disease. The common cold being the least dangerous disease, I think.
Yeah, but also because the medications are only dealing with the symptoms anyway, and most diseases are just a collection of symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
They're not naming the disease after the root cause.
Right.
Maybe outside of like genetic conditions where it's like they know exactly what's causing the problem and it's based on the gene, whatever's happening with the genes. But yeah. All right. Last question. I don't have any new. I think all of our viewers are just listening, which is fine. You're welcome to do that, but don't be shy. Pop a question in if you have.
Don't forget now that even if you're shy and you make a mistake, God will forgive you. God will forgive everything except blasphemy. So don't worry about being trying to make a mistake. Ask your questions away. God will forgive you. Even if I don't, God will forgive you.
Some people might care more about whether you forgive them.
Then pride is destructive. Pride, pride, pride.
All right. All right. Here we go. Last question.
Okay.
From Lady G. Good morning. Aston, I saw a friend of the family on Thanksgiving Day. She has an issue with one of her feet is swollen from her toes to her ankles.
Mhm.
She said she's been struggling with this issue for 8 months and the doctors have run every test possible and they cannot find what the issue is. She said it pains her and itches her as well. She said she is willing to try anything at this juncture. I told her I would ask and let her know if you're able to recommend anything that might be helpful.
We can, but we also need more information. So it's painful, it's itchy, it's swollen. So all of those could mean nerve damage. Certainly, most definitely nerve damage. It could be a kidney issue, could be neuropathy caused from diabetes or high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So you could see it could be a wide number of root causes that are affecting her body, at least her leg. So we can recommend something basic for her now, but in the meantime, she should get all her labs together and send them to us. So what she would need the detox, the anti-inflammatory, and the L-New1 just to start cleaning her body out. But if she has kidney disease, liver disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, those have to be fixed because those would be the root cause of the issue with her leg, right? So if you don't fix those, the leg, she could end up losing her leg, assuming that is the diabetes or the blood pressure causing neuropathy. So if the doctors are not able to help her, don't forget this. Even in this great country, the great United States, it has the best medical system on the planet. It have some of the brightest human beings on the planet. So even with our extraordinary, our eclectic medical system, people still lose their legs or their arms because of gangrene, because of neuropathy, because not everybody's body responds to medication. Some people's body resist the medication. So she needs help desperately.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going on 8 months. So that's a long time. Yeah, I think it's a great point when we think about the root cause. It's partly why sometimes you can come on the Q&A and hoping that there'll be some kind of direct answer, but really the answer is that we need to know more. If you went to a doctor and you said your foot was swollen, in a lot of cases, they're going to say, okay, how do we reduce this swelling? Versus coming to NuSpecian or to Dr. Nosworthy at our medical practice, where we're going to say, well, what else is going on in your body? Because the root cause is more important if we're looking, especially if you need fast results, but then also if you want long-term results. And in this case, with having gone to many doctors for 8 months and there's been no solution, that's very concerning.
I was telling, to wrap it up, today, I was telling Jill yesterday how I have a medical doctor in our Bronxville location who I've been working with. So he's a medical doctor. He has issues, not going to say what they are. And a lot of you will find it incredible that all the issues you're going through, you've been talking to us about over the years, doctors have them too. Medical doctors have them too. And some of the medical doctors use the same medication you use and don't get help just like you. Just like you. So get us those labs and let us try to help.
All right. We don't have any new questions from the live audience, and we're out of our pre-submitted questions. So I will say this brings our
almost out of time
our show to the end on time. Actually, for the first time in a while, we're ending on time.
So don't forget our medical practice, NuSpecian. Now you are NuSpecian missionaries, and all of these announcements are made here first, right here, on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So we now have a medical practice, a real PCP medical practice at NuSpecian, starting with telemed. So I would like to ask all of you to start telling your family and your friends, the people you love most, so they can get the kind of help they've been looking for, hoping for, praying for years, and make up for all the family members who passed away not getting the help they needed from the medical system. We are going to try our best to get the medical system to work for you. That's what our practice is about. We have the greatest medical system on the earth, but it doesn't work for a lot of people. We are going to find a way to make it to work for you. That is our commitment to you. We're going to do our best.
All right. So what we need you to do now is please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And that will make sure you get notifications whenever we post new content. And you can also go to the live section of our channel where our next live will be. And you could click the little bell button there and it'll notify you as soon as we're live as well. Otherwise, we hope to see you on Monday at 11 a.m. for Monday School with Aston. And then next Saturday at 10 a.m. for our next Q&A. In the meantime, if you want to submit your questions in advance, you can download NuSpecian app. It's free. And you can fill out the form that's right on the homepage and we'll get your question. And then if you give us your email, we can send you the clip where your question is answered. Have a wonderful weekend. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you all. Have a great weekend. Always great speaking with you.